Tyler and I just had a great weekend at the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. Tyler flew very, very far to get there. I flew kind of far, not so far. And we both had a really interesting time. I learned that Tyler's a better runner than I am. I probably could have told you that before we even did it. But we also learned a lot from the Q&A at the Berkshire Hathaway meeting. Um, I know Tyler is follows the energy sector a lot more closely than I do, but I still paid attention when Berkshire was talking a little bit about it. We learned a few things. We learned that from the earnings release that happened the same morning as the meeting, we learned that Berkshire reduced its stake in Chevron significantly to the point where it went from its number 2 to its number 3 investment. And when asked about Occidental Petroleum, which there's been a lot of speculation that Buffett was going to buy Occidental in its entirety. And he says no, he has no plans to take control of Occidental, that they're happy with the 23 or 24-ish% stake they have right now. But Tyler, it sounds like you were left with more questions than answers here.
Yeah, I don't know if it's more questions, but just I guess unsatisfied with the answers. When we went into the meeting, I was really hoping that this question would be addressed. It's a sector I've followed for a long time, and oil and gas is something that Berkshire Hathaway has been in and out of rather frequently over the past 25, 30 years. And so I really wanted to know if there was like some significant insight in the way that, Buffett or Charlie Munger or anybody on their team really had um, changed their views or rethought the way they think about oil and gas. And it didn't kind of come off as that. I think much of the answer that they had for Occidental and Chevron was we like their position, um, specifically Occidental and Chevron, because they tend to be tied most heavily to West Texas, which is the Permian Basin. It's kind of the popular name in shale drilling in the United States. Chevron is probably by far the most exposed of the integrated oil and gas majors that you can think of, like ExxonMobil, Shell, BP, things like that. Chevron is definitely the most shale exposed. And Occidental has been a big Permian producer, either with shale or with legacy assets for decades. And so it was just a little strange to me. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of an answer, and maybe that's just, you know, bad expectation setting on my part. But it, to me, it came off as we like it right now. We're planning on holding it for a little while based because we like the position, but we're not really married to it, which is, I guess, how they've treated oil and gas for the past several decades. We'll find a good wave, we'll ride it, but we're not going to, these aren't these buy and hold investments like Apple, where regardless, we think it's going to stay. If we take profits when times are really good in the oil patch, we're going to do it. And if things are looking in the dumper or, not looking good and in the dumpster, maybe it's time to go look at it again. So kind of a little bit of we're just going to keep on doing what we've done with oil and gas for the past 25 years.
Yeah, I got that feeling too. It wasn't that long ago that Exxon was a big Berkshire Hathaway stock.
I can name like 6 other oil stocks that were a big part of Berkshire.
Right, there were quite a few of them. Wasn't ConocoPhillips or Phillips 66, I think, was the big one.
Both were.
And, and you're right. It seems like more of a cyclical play for Berkshire than it does something that they want to buy and hold long term. Which I know Charlie Munger especially is a big fan of oil over the long run.
Well,
In
I
terms of an
mean,
investment.
yeah, the guy bought a bunch of acreage in Bakersfield, California in the 70s or 60s and 70s for $1,000, and right now I think it produces about $70,000 a month in legacy oil like royalties. So yeah, of course he likes oil.
Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to click subscribe if you don't subscribe to my channel already. And as always, this video is sponsored by The Motley Fool. Be sure to visit www.fool.com/Frankel to receive the top 10 best stocks to buy now.